Taxing through swamp and ice, desert and wood, was the exodus from frozen lands. Upon each hill the priestess sang, and closer to Erethel they came. The people walked in groups, the future houses of Rathir, planning the lives of gold and silver, music and laughter. Lush fields and streams Tyrion described to farmers, the first makers of the bread and food we eat today. The mages that awaited Lyria's touch now reap her power.
Need to do any trade? I have some items for sale, or I can buy if you're looking to fence some items. Come again. Would you care to sell? Sorry, I mean buy. Would you care to buy something? Common knowledge that the travelers are known as thieves, but it isn't the only life you have to lead. We've traders, bards, and jugglers as well. Always a few odds and ends happening there. Hard to feel like you aren't being watched with the city looming over us. That's why you have to control the show. We're performers at heart in Moon Camp. Bards, jugglers, tumblers, dancers, all performing for the glory of the Hierophant. One of the few ways to earn coin with this war on. Bit hard for us to ply other trades with the soldiers at Dove Arn breathing down our necks. Irian's a good enough bard and a clever thief, but he's not quite a leader, especially with Mare gone. Come again.
What are you looking at?
Good tidings.
A thief may turn a lock, a brigand steal a key, but a bard can steal your heart for but a little fee. Irian is a man who weeps the sadness that a lifetime reaps. His wife, his love, his other half, is gone and took his laugh. This camp is home to bards and singers all, tumblers and jugglers and curtain calls. The unknown provider, the stalwart seer, the anonymous guider, the brigand's dear, a diviner of our quarry and assuager of our worries. A sullied order, the untouched caste, but rest assured we shall outlast. Live on your feet as we are told, while using hand to steal the gold. Goodbye. Fly high.
What is this specimen before me? I can only think that you were the skilled one the Hierophant said I was to expect. If only you had come sooner. Then you might have helped to keep my mare's heart here. Oh, nothing I should be bothering you with. After all you've accomplished in Star Camp, what's so special about a broken-hearted Alpha? I should tell you more about what mission you're to be. Oh, you must give me a moment. Mare, my poor, lovely mare. My Queen of Cups, the once joint leader of Moon Camp, my wife. Happy we were in the years we were wed, yet sad we were in the hours. She was of a noble family, and I their jester. We fell in love, eloped, and joined the only ones who did not shun our love, the travelers. But of late, the stress of this life has finally taken its toll. She left me, and this camp, to seek refuge in the Temple of Lyria. I'm in no state to be aiding you right now. I should be alone. I still need some time. Very well. Go to the Hierophant Shrine and pray. There you will receive portents of the next mission from our Grand Leader. You must pray at the Hierophant Shrine. There you will divine the targets of your thefts. May the Hierophant's gaze find my wife, for what a wretch I have become. I am more like a king of ants than anything else. There is nothing I can say to describe how I pine for her. Would that I be sundered like the Rathir battlefield, that I could escape this anguish. The Hierophant directs all of the travelers, a director of our queues and exits, of our motivations and actions. It is well known that the Hierophant commands us because of a vision of the work from start to end, a prophecy to tell us what to steal. It takes a brave sword to be a traveler. We've all left something behind, or made the sacrifices we had to, or had nowhere else to turn. But more than that, a traveler needs presence. We need to command attention, to perform under spotlight, even from the shadows. Exeunt.
Is there a petition before me? Ah, yes, but it is strange. You seem cloaked in shadow, hidden from my gaze. Ah, it is you, Shade. We are far from the woods of Dalentarth. I see you are eager to serve your guide. Yes, and come far from Starcamp. Mooncamp is a home to true travelers, faithful and talented. I have seen the items which you must steal. The Chalice of Forced Vintage from the lower city, and the Signet Ring of Wyvern Gift from the upper city. And lastly, you must steal the Cowl of the Maiden from the Temple of Lyria. These treasures are my blessing to this camp. The Chalice of Forced Vintage is said to take any liquid poured into it and transform it into fine wine. It is currently in possession of a peddler named Weinrich in Rathir's Seafoam Tavern. Relieve it of him. It is the signet ring of the Wyvern Gifts, one of the great houses of Rathir. The Patriarch Ebsel is a social man. You will have to take the ring from him away from prying eyes. The Cowl of the Maiden is a ceremonial cowl belonging to the Temple of Lyria. It is only worn on solemn occasions of the lunar eclipse. I fear that you are not its only predator. Mayor Ganon seeks the cowl as well. You are not the only thief that is pursuing the Cowl of the Maiden. There is also Mayor Ganon, formerly of Mooncamp. The calamities of Irian's and Mayor's relationships are not unknown to me. Resolve them and you may have an easier time.
Care to wager?
Well, now look at this. Don't suppose you've come to make a purchase of...
The cards foretold of an arrival. That would be you, I suppose. Irian is the leader of this camp. He is a true master of the stage, but a cunning thief as well, in his own way. Mayor was the leader of this camp along with our king, Irian. But fate ripped their paths apart, and now they are separate. We've traveled far and wide to make camp in the shadow of Rathir. From here, we do much trade. The leader of the travelers, the shepherd to our flock, the Hierophant is anonymous and leads from behind a veil. We travelers spend our lives out of doors, on roads and camps and fields, ever moving, ever roving.
clothes? Someone off the road. Tell me, do you have any peasant clothes that you're looking to get rid of? I can pay you for them. Indeed. It is not clothes so much as cloth. I'm a tailor by trade, and from my hands are born the costumes and curtains of our fair camp. But the players of our camp are always in need of new articles of dress. I need lots of material, and quickly. Bring me some peasant clothes and I can rework the material with relative ease. What say you? You mean truly? It's been a while since I've had any good material to work with. I await your findings. If I knew, I wouldn't need you around to find them for me, would I? I think if you poke around, you'll dig some up. Irion is one of Moon Camp's leaders, but the other, Mare, has left us. And it gets worse. Mare was also Irion's wife. I mean, how would you feel? It's a wonder a man like Irion could weather it. Mare might have been co-leader of the camp, but she's no performer. She's a thief, through and through. It might have worn on her to be surrounded with folk like us. Guess it just wasn't a good fit. I used to find good work in Rathir, but the travelers here have a real passion for the art of performance. I'm happier here. Their words are often in the ears of common folk, and their songs play in the hearts of all. Pleasant journeys.
Salutations.
Would you care to sell? Sorry, I mean, come again. Need to do any trade? I have some items for Mare. She's one of the most talented thieves we've got. I can't say we don't miss her skill. Come again.
You look like you've been in some tight spots. There's a bounty out on a damn set of deserters. What do you say? 5 full crew of fresh recruits had the gall to get fully equipped on our gold coin before they up and ran. The turntails, arms, and armor we can do without. But I'm afraid we also gave each crew a bottle of bog staunch. That's what I need recovered. Cure for a sickness that strikes some the moment they enter Cluricon. Devilish hard to make. We can't have fool deserters running off with any. So you do, so you do. Find me all 5 bottles, and you've got your bounty. Those fools have run off down the coast, I imagine, hiding here and there. They'll be up and down the Tawili coast, I think, hiding where they damn well can. There are things in the air in Cluricon. It doesn't strike everyone, but some get awfully sick their first days there. Bog staunch gets them through it, so we pack a jug with every crew we send over there. Look at it. Scarred and singed as a blacksmith's hand. That is what you get from war. In through Verki's water gates? I'd have thought those gates sealed in the wreckage when Verki fell. Well, well, well. I did 5 years in Cluricon. Then I got this post back here, seeing fresh recruits trained and off to war. A fact of life. There are cowards and lying rogues, and that's that. But when they up and run with things of value, that's another thing altogether. Haven't you been? You can feel something and you begin to rot the moment you set foot over there. At least I did.
Good tidings.
Did you think the whole army was across the water in Cluricon? No, I'm afraid some of us are stuck here in Dol An and Rathir. Used to belong to House Arn, but that soft sot that inherited wanted nothing to do with it. His loss, the army's gain. The Freemen are a rogue group of our own soldiers who have grown disenfranchised by the war and decided it's easier to cause trouble at home than to keep the Tuatha at bay. I know they're as cooped up there as we are here, but someday that siege will lift. I want to be there when it does. No one's quite sure why Sully rebelled against us. A lot of the soldiers are feeling fatigued, though, after fighting for so long. That's why most join with Freemen. While it's true we Alpha lead, many humans proudly fill our ranks. All mortals unite against the damned Tuatha Fae. They're not mortal for one, nor sane either. I've seen them firsthand. Watch me, this is just cute. Well, who can I say?
Step up. See what I have to sell. It's my brothers that ply the seas and bring me goods to trade. When I tire of Rithia, I'll wait till they return and back upon the foam. Not a bad sight from the bow of your ship, although I've never become accustomed to the strange ways of these southern Alfar. Darkalfar, whatever you like to call them, like and unlike to their sisters in the north. Losalfar, that is. The goods here you'll not find the likes of anywhere else. Not without braving the raging seas, at least. Wind at your
Don't
back.
miss the Seafoam Tavern.
Good day, friend.
Stay dry, Captain. Good day to you.
No, I not believe it.
Feels good to have my...
Keep the peace.
Please, find Selny. Tell her we betrayed. The lower tunnels. Go. Tell Selny. No one else. Betrayed.
Just look at it all.
Do not miss Leogriff's many marvels.
The Predary is in the lower city.
Good day.
The Pryderi is in the lower city.
Good day to you.
No entry, I'm afraid.
I am Elund Karth. Welcome to our city. They have delved earthward, where we have lifted high. They think no one watches them because they are thus sheltered. The deeper they dig, the higher we will rise. I am the Elund, Morphan Karth, and the voice of the Orbicant. Within this city, my word is law.
The City of Walls is lost to us, and we can afford no more troops for them. Better to muster our forces to counterattack after its fall.
Do not speak to me of the war. I am the voice of Rathia, not a general or a fate weaver, nor Lyria herself, who alone controls the outcome. Those who watch and govern Rathia, they sit in secret council. Even their names are unknown, and are thus above corruption and idolatry. Only I am known, the Elund, their voice.
Rathia has taken in half of Mel Senshia's population as refugees from the war. Orphans fill our poorhouses. They've never seen their parents' city and never will. I realize they long for their home, but they need to accept a painful fact. Rathia is their only home now. Mel Senshia is no more.
Good evening, my lady.
Hello.
Did my parents send you? Are you some sort of new instructor? You're not an instructor? I thought they might have sent another. They've had Majessa here for almost a year now. She does always get me to attend to her lessons somehow, though I'm not sure how she does it. I know what they want. They want to marry me to some snotty, spoiled son of another great house. Then I can become Maewyn Wyvern Gif Fiddlestuffs. I suppose it's nice enough, but then I wouldn't know. I have nothing to compare it to. I don't know which is worse, the snotty wyverns or the foolish fawning gifts.
Good day, my lady.
Hello. I am the governess of Miss Wyvern Gif. It is my duty to train my charge in matters of speech and persuasion. I will confess, there are days I yearn for a more eager pupil. Farewell. It is true, my student tests my powers almost a topic that interests you. Would you like to learn some of the art? I am confident a small lesson would be permitted by the house. We are a people of subtle speech and hidden hands. All around us is great beauty, yes, but what does it hide? I do not blame her. Were her parents more persuasive themselves, such willfulness would have been smothered long ago. So long.
Why, hello, young lady. On behalf of myself, my wife, and my daughter, I welcome you to the Spire Top and all that House Wyvern Gift can offer. I'm the patriarch of the Wyvern Gift Great House. Show the proper respect. You must forgive my Lady Tanra if she sometimes speaks out of temper. It's been very hard for her. You see, some of the great houses have been slower to accept her than basic civility demands they should. The Orbocant is our ruling council. Its members are shrouded except the Elund, who speaks for them. You are a student there yourself, are you not? Many of the important and powerful in Rethia have graced those halls. I wish you fortune. Atop the spire, you will find the two preeminent great houses, Anwan and our own. You will also find the Scholia Arcana, the Orbicant, and the Temple of Lyria. I'm a spiritual man myself and visit the temple gardens daily. The High Priestess offers blessings, counsel, and fate-weaving. It is peculiar, I confess, that we kept my name, but the Wyverns are a very old family, and all agreed it was best if it were joined with Give. You mean the Song of My Heart? She's the sweetest thing. Though I worry her mother coddles her some. Very good, then.
City Watch, move along.
Yeah? What are you doing here? I don't suppose you're becoming a child of Lyria. Lyria, you think you might want to speak a little more quietly? I don't need anyone here getting wise to me. And let me guess, you're a traveler and you've been called to seal the cowl of the maiden. Well, I beat you to it. Cowl's mine. Aye, that's something I can respect. Here, take the rag and I'll take the money. The damned fool. All the work I do for him in camp, all the sacrifices I've made to be with him. He's ignored it all. He made a little mistake, but that's the last one. I won't wait around until he forgets me entirely. I'm not the queen of anything now, and I'm not keen to do any talking. I spent my life growing up in the upper city of Rethea, so you might not understand, but I love that camp. There's always colors and dancing and music. I feel free there. It's hard to be apart from it. Stupid Irian. I've taken orders before, but a commander ought to at least look a soldier in the eye when telling them what to do. But the Hierophant doesn't do that. The orders just come in secret and no one takes responsibility for them. A damn fool idea, if you ask me. They break away from all the rules, the trappings, and be themselves. I remember that was why I first joined. Dismissed.
Hello.
Tell me, what brings you to this sacred place? For prayer? For the weaving of your fate? Or for the orison? There is something peculiar about you. The threads are... But you know of this, don't you? Then you are the one. I had heard rumors, but never thought... Well, it is good to meet you. You have drawn Lyria's attention. May I look into your cards? It is said that our goddess is the goddess of magic, but by so being, she is goddess of the heart of things, of mystery, and the true weaver of fate. This temple was founded by Bayala Tiran herself, mother and prophetess of our people. It was High Priestess Tiran who led our people from Glen Sutton. It was she who found Rethea. It was she who sheltered and guided us, who made us who we are. Though few of your kind do, all are welcome to the Orison. Perform 3 tasks of devotion to Lyria, and in exchange, earn her blessing. Sojourn, service, and giving. They wind from outward to inward, and from the depths of our history to this very moment. It is no idle turn of phrase. Though you gave of yourself to earn it, your gain will be greater than the sacrifice. You began when you entered this temple. The first task is the sojourn. Have this. It is an amphora. With it, travel to the 3 springs blessed by Priestess Tiran on her sojourn from the north. Fill the amphora with some of each spring. 1 is just outside Rethea, a 2nd in Lower Galafor, the 3rd is in Snowmelt Pass. Bring the amphora I gave you to each of the 3 sacred springs. They are just north of Rathir, in southern Gallifore, and in Snowmelt Pass. When you are done, return to me.
Welcome to our temple. I am a daughter of Lyria, one of many sons and daughters who have devoted themselves here. My station is to look after the relics sacred to our order. Sadly, many of the relics we once had are now lost. The goddess of magic, fate, mysteries. We believe that order and chaos are how others want the world to be. But Lyria is concerned with what is, and what can truly change it. True wisdom is knowing the one and grasping the other. All are welcome here to pray, to reflect and find peace. If you seek fate weaving or the Orison, you should speak with the High Priestess. Priestess Saranin oversees the temple. Though her station is high, she is gracious and open to all who visit. She will weave your fate if you ask, or lead you on the sacred ritual we call the Orison. You should speak with her if you wish to know more. It has left so many scars on our city, our souls, and the land beyond. Nor has it stopped taking life. When the war first came, we sent one out to every stronghold keep. This served 2 purposes. It brought faith and strength to our soldiers there. And if Rathir fell, some relics might still remain. We have announced a gold reward for their return, but sadly, none have yet come back to us. Please do. There are at least 6 that I know of, sent to the major strongholds of the plains of Arethel. Bring any you find to me. Lyria rewards those in her favor. The great Alfar strongholds of Arethel are Dolve Arn, Verki, Rithen, Candrian, Dolve Whale, and Corgan Hold. You did! This is wonderful! May the fortunes of Lyria be upon you! They were primarily sent to the strongholds of the plains of Arethel, but any that you find will be gladly welcomed and thanked with gold. Goodbye.
Stand aside.
My Lady Coriana won't eat. She won't sleep. All on account of a poor, sick Malian. Woe on House Anwan. The healers say bad blood, but my lady swears it's poison. He sleeps and sleeps, but he's never any better. Well, it's hard to say. The healers are no use. You could go to her yourself and ask. No harm in that. You'll find my lady in the house, by poor Malian's side, most likely. Here, in House Anwan. She spends most of her time by poor young Malian's sickbed. The young master's sickness, yes. He's the last one living, what with the others dead in the war. Oh, my masters aren't like some up Spire top. Just one name to our house, thank you very much, and nearly old as Rathir at that. There are but 2 left of Anwan blood. One soon enough if young Master Malian does not mend. My poor lady. What grief she's known. Her daughters lost to Cluricon, and her husband to the war before that. Her son Malian is all that's left to her, and the only seed of House Anwan. Poor boy, he sleeps and tosses and turns. From the things he says under his breath, his dreams must be ghastly things. Do help my lady if you can.
No entry, I'm afraid.
This here is the Orbicont.
Oh, such a...
My son Malian is gravely ill. The healers say his blood is diseased, but I am sure it must be poison. If I were younger, I'd go and find the Lepidus myself and prove them wrong. Bring my son this wild plant, and I will see you richly rewarded. This I swear. Of course not. But my family legacy says it will, and I have no wish to watch my son die while there is still a chance for hope. There's only one place that I know of, the Acathan wetlands. You must search for it there. You will know Lepidus by the shape of its blue flower. The wetlands of Acatha. Find it and bring it to my son with all due haste. The healers name it as an affliction of the blood, but Anwan blood has bent beneath no malady in generations. No, Malian was poisoned, I am sure. Our line is ancient. However, if my son Malian is not cured, we shall wither, and the weeds of wyvern gif grasp ever higher. It is an herb with natural properties. It is not strictly alchemy, and it does not cure a poison. However, it can relieve the symptoms for a time. Malian will still need an antidote before he is fully well. His father died in the Battle of Galliffer Plain. His sisters in Cluricon. He is all I have left, and he is slipping away from me. The Wyverns were of respected and decent lineage, though their wealth was not great. Then the merchants Gif bought House Wyvern, much to our surprise. They have mixed sea wash with fine wine. It was early in the war, and until that time we had known only defeat. The day was won, and my husband lost. Be wary. I have sent servants before you who did not return.
It's a nightmare, it is.
Welcome.
I was hoping to spend my time in the Order solving mysteries and delving into the world of the arcane. Or at least, not as much time on custodial work. Grew up in Rathir. Always had a head for letters. Was a bit sickly as a youth, so there was little for me to do but read. Once I was of age, I joined the Scholia. Spent my life growing up around the docks. Love all parts of this city, from high to low. A collection of smarter people I'm sure I've never seen. Farewell.
Greetings.
Hello there.
Good, Jory. Use your rest handle and spin to the boat.
Someone I haven't met before. I thought I'd met every member of the Order in this chapter. There are a number of advantages to basing ourselves in Rathir. The plains are among the most magical of the regions in these lands. And we receive special patronage from the Oberkant, the rules of Rathir, for the purposes of furthering the study of magic. Magic is reaching all races. If we do not know what its limitations and strengths are, then we are in for darker times. I oversee the training of initiates here in the Rathir chapter. Defensive work, mostly, to protect themselves while doing research or going on expeditions.
Good evening. Ah, welcome to the Scholia Arcana, young one. How may I be of assistance? Interested in a bit of sage crafting or alchemy? Itran Skan or Red Thumbroom will be happy to help you out. Or if dispelling is your preference, try to find Artan Cade about. The man's a wizard with a ward. Most would tell you that the Scholia Arcana is the continent's premier journal and lecture society, an order of learned mages and scholars. And that is true. It is simply not the whole truth. In time, you will learn what I mean. I have a feeling about you. A city of splendors indeed. The Scholia Arcana shares the spire with a great many of the Alpha elite. Rathir has stood for centuries. Through famine and through fire, it will stand for centuries more. You can find me here.
Wards can be a tricky thing if you don't know how to handle them. I am but a humble practitioner of the arts of dispelling. I share my knowledge with all who wish to learn. It is rather alarming, it seems, that more mages know how to create wards than undo them. The Rathir chapter certainly manages to provide the resources we need, be they financial, academic, or even personal. Keep care of yourself. About dispelling.
Is there something you need of me? I have no idea why the chapter continues to schedule my practical sagecrafting lectures at the same time as the Sagecraft Theory Symposium. A wonderful institution, if only for appropriating funding for the study of magic. You know, instead of using funds for silly things like weapons or entertainment. Oh, well, not many care to inquire about me. Usually it's all about sagecrafting and gem lattices. It's my work, you see. Remember, everyone be sure to do the reading.
Alchemy is about creating something worth more than the sum of its parts. The great city of the Alfar has never fallen, and never will. At least, not until it does. I can think of no greater mystery than what it must have been like for the first alchemists to sample the potions they made. I only wish I had been there. Many, many years ago, I joined this hallowed order. I was young, tender at the age of 15, and gifted far beyond my rights in the art of magic. Ethan Ingar recognized my potential even then. He was the first to show me the wonders of alchemy. I've been happily blowing my eyebrows off ever since. Try not to explode yourself.
If you're on any assignment for the Order, I would make sure you're properly outfitted before you start. Largest city on the continent. At least, it was once, before the gnomes refused to quit adding to Odessa. Worked here my whole life. I've seen things shocking enough to make you blind. It takes a certain kind to last long in this order, I think. I provide all members of the Scholia Arcana with the tools and items their training might require of them. Come again.
Well, I'm done with my formal lecture, but I am always happy to discuss the art of sagecrafting, if that's what you're looking for. There is much that goes into the study of sagecrafting, but though some obsess with the practical forms, I devote myself to its theoretical elegance. Oh dear, It seems that I've had my symposium scheduled at the same time as Earth and Nara's lecture. She's going to be cross. Magic is more powerful than it ever has been. And who is more important in such a time as now than the Scholia Arcana? Until next time. Hello.
Greetings.
Hello.
You are seeking healing? Let me see what I can do. Healing is a discipline that not many choose to pursue here. There is a stigma that it is a craft for village elders and common folk. But it involves mastery of spellcraft, alchemy, and anatomy. Many simply lack the patience needed to learn these works. I've lived in Rathir my whole life. This is the heart of the Alfar, the center of the world. I came to the Order years ago, eager to learn how magic can be used to help the mortal races. I joined the Order to become a battle mage, but I quickly learned the horrors of such magic. I elected to study healing instead. If you need me again, I'll be here.
Good evening.
Are you here for the evaluation? I've already administered the written copies. This will have to be an oral exam. Members of all ranks, regardless of their skill, must always know the value of research and perception. I understand you're not yet a member of our order, so consider this a preliminary exam. Take this book, read it, and understand what it means to be a mage of the Scholia Arcana. The Omnibus Arcana is a staple of the education in our institution. All first-year students are given a copy to study. The lessons involve an introduction to the rigors of studying magic, as well as the value of applying yourself to your studies. Each book is different for every user, but they all impart the same basic knowledge. This is the Omnibus Arcana. It is a magical text that holds the collected knowledge of our order. It is also imbued with a certain form of intelligence. Follow its directions as you would my own. I oversee the library in the Rathir chapter. Many walk the road of knowledge, but I make sure they do so in an orderly manner. This is an introductory text given to all first-year students. It's considered canon. The Rathir chapter has some of the finest collections of manuscripts in the plains of Erethel. I guarantee it. Were it so easy to summarize an institution like the Scholia Arcana in a few short words, books, I think, do it slightly more justice. The test begins in the courtyard. From there, you're on your own. Where was I?
Greetings.
Welcome.
Move along! City Watch, be on your...
Ruwani, apothecary, alchemist, importer, and cultivator at your service. If you think yourself a bit of an amateur, you are welcome to the use of my alchemist's bench. I'm happy to sell you anything you require, and forgive any faces I make at your fitful potioneering. I've always found the mystery of herbs and fungi far more fascinating than anything else. As soon as I was old enough, I was apprenticed to the great Rilf Janik. He was the great alchemist of the plains of Erethel. Quite eccentric, but brilliant. His daughters in Emer took after him, and people think I'm weird. Were you aware that 37 varieties of vine, flower, and tree can be found here? Discounting, of course, the lunar gardens. Have you been? The true marvel of our city, if you ask me. Blossoms you will see nowhere else in Amalur. Very good, then.
Keep the peace.
Welcome, friend, to the Luminary Leaf, bookseller extraordinaire. Nearly any book you can imagine can be found here at the Luminary Leaf, be it history, verse, or scholarship. Though, I must confess, we are not as well supplied in gnomish texts as I would like. The ancient steps of our founder and prophet are dear to any Rathiri's heart. But mine shall always stir to the brave tales of the war-sworn of old, pitting steel and valor against chaos itself. In truth, I once thought I might be a poet, but it seems in the end I am more shepherd than ram to my flock of tomes. Ah, you see? My metaphors always run amok somehow. I cannot ascend the steps of the spire without thinking on the first lines of the Fall of Dwinian, nor espy the Wending and not recall Stone Shadows. Rathir is a city of letters. I dare anyone to say otherwise. Now, while many books can be found only within Scholia Arcana walls, others can only be found without. Gnomish texts, magical controversies. Pelewin tugs at the heartstrings. Medara's mists at dawn takes my breath away. If you seek something a bit more rough and lively, the Varani Kesseniki or Sea Chance might be worth a read. Until next time.
Move along. young citizen.
Do not miss Leogriff's many marvels. Curios, clasps, staves, and robes, all of the highest quality. Go forth. Mages worth their salt, buy from Lear. A pleasure, I assure you. I've been supplying scholars and students alike for many a year. Those rare and potent marvels unavailable within their compound, I am happy to supply. Magic's mistress and goddess of fate, which is not but magic's deepest weave, after all. Lyria's city. Magic runs through its veins, echoes in its courts and byways, and I do my modest part. To be honest, I never actually passed the initiation trials. An oversight, I assure you. Arrogant fools. Go forth, live boldly, then return to me. Curios, talismans, items of power.
Greeting. You have come to Gwalchmay's goods. Provisioner to all Rathir, to high and low, great house and sparrow alike. The great families of Rathir, of course, as rich in power as in gold. Visit the upper city and see them yourself. Worth the climb, if you ask me. Humble servant to great house, sparrow, and soldier alike. Women and men in want of things make their way to Gwalchmay's goods. I could tell you a thing or two about this city. Did you know, for instance, that Faldra Nefari ate the 5th memorial stone? Cast a spell and ate it. I could say a thing or two about Wyvern Gif as well, if I didn't fear the consequence. They are the rag pickers and dust grubbers of the city. Mind you, I don't let them in the front door. Appearances, not to mention odors. Oh, him? No one knows his real name. Got that name from the way he talks. Some say he was next to the Archsage, once, up Spire Top. Then a spell went wrong, or his lover fell to her death. Whatever it was, broke him, it did. The first 4 are easy enough to find about the city. But the 5th, few know the truth of it. The Wyverns had a claim of their own, mind you. But their marriage to Gif, a scandal. I know the truth of it, but I'm not at liberty to say. Come again.
This is the sage crafting table. I can help you with gems and shards and the like. If you want general goods, you should speak to Master Gwalchme over there. Oh, he's been very good to me. I knew my gems were good, but they wouldn't seem to sell in a market stall. They do better here. Yes, they're my favorite place. So peaceful. The blooms and stars, like so many glittering gems. Oh, it's so lovely, the lunar gardens. Not that I've seen much else of the world. Have you? Oh, I'd be terrified to go so far. It takes great concentration. You can get lost in the work. I like that. So long.
I'll sell you weapons, but if it's armor you need, you'll have to speak to that husband of mine. Him? If you've any love of life, don't talk to him. Can't abide a joke, can't enjoy a drink.
Before the war, the people of Rathir were filled with hope, with joy. Most of them, anyway. Have you met my husband?
A terrible thing. Much as it keeps us in business. I like to think that every weapon I forge just might kill one of those two, Arthur. That's what helps me sleep at night. Farewell.
Just look at...
Sif Sader at your service. Don't mind the racket. Just my wife, at Harpy across the way. My craft is shields and armor only. The art of it's in the balance. Too heavy and you can't move in it. Too thin and it shatters. Majestic towers, crisp sea air, and I spend my life in here, with that milksop Adar and my spiteful hag of a wife. What a mouse! Look at the way he taps at the forge. Scared of his own damn shadow. Proud is right, and why not? Fitted most of the Alfar army. No frills, no finery. Just good, hard steel. First and greatest mistake I ever made. Only thing sharper than her wares is the tongue in her mouth.
Good. Another Varani.
Got anything in need of mending? I can do it. Sometimes all I have is a sturdy hammer and an anvil. Never thought I could be unhappy working at a forge until I met those two. Some days I think it's all a jest, and they're like a pair of lovebirds when I'm gone. Others, that there will be bloody murder by noon. Know what I dream of? A quiet forge. Nothing but the sound of the billow fire and the hammer's ring. No oaths, no bickering. That's the day I'll finally make my own work. Until then, mending helms and sharpening swords. I'll manage. Rathir is quite busy now. It wasn't always this way. It was quiet and peaceful once, before the Tuatha. When I was young, the Tuatha stormed Erethel. They broke into Rathir once. I still remember the fires and their ghastly armor. Those fires took the southern docks. It's called the Loskiad now. The Burn.
Stand aside.
You look capable. Stern in the brow, proud of bearing. You are just what we need to deliver these notices. You'll do it, won't you? You've got to do better than the last fellow. There's pay. It's for the war effort. Notices of duty to denizens of Rathir selected to serve. The work can be hard, and you've got to, well, look the part. I'll give you a list of names, and you get each of them to accept their card. Easy as that. Well, what do you say? Will you do it? What I need are boots on the ground in Cluricon. I shouldn't say this, but if anyone can't or won't accept the notice, find someone else. Or make them. Whatever you need to do. Take these cards, deliver them to Runir Westnon, Maywin Wyvern Gif, Afendel, and Varen Seawine. Almain? Odd. All can be found in Rathir, and I can be found in the officers' hall on the burn when you're finished. Went and broke his little leg. Oh, Lunala's tears. Hasn't a notion of how important our work is. No sense of the bigger picture. You can't fight a war without soldiers. True, we contract the Warsworn and volunteers arrive daily, but it's not always enough. Citizens of Rathir are selected on... Well, the process is secret. Even I don't know how. They're selected, a notice is sent, and they serve. I'm the chief of recruitment, and don't think I've got time to go around handing out notices. Those notices are only the beginning. We're in Rathir. This is the war effort. How do you think we get a steady flow of soldiers into Cluricon? You've got to be organized, and everyone's got to pitch in. The names are Runir Westnon, Maywin Wyvern Gif, Afendel, and Varen Seawine. They're all in Rathir. Now, be on your way.
Curios, talismans, items of power.
Oh, there's no use. I've lost the keys. Now Gwaltmay'll have my head if I can't think up something fast. Say, you're not good with locks, are you? Would you help a poor fellow who's down on his luck? Yes, as in, no need for keys. Ace with a lockpick. Gwaltmay wants an old red ledger from the storeroom in the customs house. Oh, I'm afraid they're lost for good. Now, I might have dropped them here, or at Kest's table the other night. But it's just as likely I dropped them in Bracken Bay after I'd had an ale or three at the Seafoam. The chest it's in, that is, yes. Although I don't know which one it is. But it's down there, somewhere. Oh, now don't worry, nothing in the storeroom's seen the light of day in years. No one will mind if you pick a few locks before you find it. Well, he's a good enough master, all in all. Sees to it I earn every coin of my wages, though. No standing about, not in his shop. With all these people walking around, you'd figure someone would help me after I lost my keys. Gets these ideas into his head. Needs this old thing, needs that new thing. This time it's shard prices by the decade. Something to do with a deal he is or isn't striking with that Karasta trader. Oh, the things they say about that Lanshi. That she talked a Jotun out of his own hammer once. And another time sold some Varani fool his own silk for twice as much, after cutting it to ribbons and winding it on spools. Me, Gwaltmay calls me lad whenever he wants me, and the others call me hardly anything at all. Just fetch this and lift that. The Chamber of Trade's on the way to the quays, and the storeroom's off one of the wings. Just pick any lock down there till you find the old ledger. Chamber of Trade basement. Just head toward the quays. Oh, and have these.
Students of magic, masters of spells.
breeze is nice, eh? Mind your step.
This is the customs house. Yes, can I help you?
Students of magic, masters of spells.
Any luck? The ledger! Oh, Lunala's smile, you've done me a good turn. Master Gwalchmay'll be pleased as a fat Jotun when I bring him this, he will. so quietly.
Always open for business when the road is your marketplace. Always looking to make a bit of... Always open for business when... The road is your marketplace. If you need another trade...
Back again? Still could use the help of a pleasant travels, Burke.
Don't just walk. Found your way to Castel and Delfric, I see. Shall we begin? Or should we stand around until my hair grows grey?
East of the Wolds, you'll find Talarain, a warren of old strongholds and ruins, and crawling with beasts. Fortunes can be had there for a lucky adventurer. Of course, the ruins have claimed more than a few lives. Oh, really? Someone finally answers to my posting? Well, do you have anything to turn in? Now that's what I like to see. Finally, those bandits will know what it's like to be preyed upon. Here's your gold. You earned it. Keep the peace.
make it back to the front. Eventually, I'd...
What am I going to do? I've got to be going, but I can't. And I can't go back to Doveyan, but I must. The war, my friend. The war. I've been called. The truth is, I should have been gone days ago. Only I'd be far more eager for the adventure if I had my family arms with me. They're in there, Doveyan. Ancestral staff and talisman. What any self-respecting Arn's worn to battle since time immemorial. If I hadn't left them somewhere in that damned tower, I'd be wearing them now. I'm not supposed to be here. I ought to have shipped out days ago. That's what I've been trying to say. I need, well, want to get my family arms and slip off before anyone knows I was here. Only how? You're serious, aren't you? Well, with any luck, the old staff and talisman are still in one piece back there, though I have my doubts. I'd pay just to know if they are or not. Thing is, Doveyan's an official army post now. To get in, you'll need an officer's pass. Well, you need to get into Doveyan. For that, you'll need an officer's pass. You might borrow one, or get hold of a forgery. Mooncamp might be good for that. I am the rightful heir to Doveyan, or I was at any rate. I've spent the last few years in lovely old Rathir, pretending like a fool nothing would change. It was my home. That was before I deeded it to the Alfar army and went to Rathir with my pocket full of gold. It went 10 years untouched by the Tuatha foe. That's common knowledge. 10 years stuck in a cold stone prison was how I saw it. By tradition, an Arn bears staff and talisman to battle. My brother bore them in Oriator's stand and died of his wounds 3 days after. Only I left them in Doveyan when I gave it to the army. Goodness only knows where they are, or what shape they're in now. Nothing like it anywhere in Amalur, I promise you. Beauty, elegance, wisdom. There's no putting it to words, really. Arn family history's riddled with this cursed war. My father and brothers have done so much for the cause, I shouldn't have to lift a finger. Honestly, I feel like a hare hunted by hawks out here. Hurry if you can. They might find me any moment.
For 500 summers, autumns, winters, and springs, the blossoms on my pearl tree bloomed ceaselessly and wantonly and fair. Why today have they fallen like tears? A dark doubt whispers, these flowers will not come again.
This is Doveyan. You an officer? Got an officer's pass? No pass, no entry. That's right. Officers only. If you've got a pass, show it here. Bloody likely story. Better scram before I lock you up for attempted impersonation and bribery. It's a privilege to wear the steel helm. All who do should be proud. I gave my captain back chalk once, just once. And what do I get? 3 months guard duty, day and night. This here's our base, barracks and storehouse west of the Forian Strait. It played a bigger role back when the war raged where you and I stand now. But that was near on 10 years back. Got one? Then show it here. Are them the arms? If you've seen that scoundrel, Clieth, we've been looking for him. There's a reward for turning in deserters, you know. Wow, you don't say. Daring little sot. Have this for leading us to him. We'll take it from here. You won't find a deserter, sure, but you're not an officer. Sorry, no entry.
Let us